Welcome back. So, in this section of the Fatboy build, I'm going to start to work on the bonnet. Yeah, I know, right? You're thinking, well, what's there to do on the bonnet? Well, let's get rid of that. Where's my pointer? Where are you, pointer? There you are. Right, what are we doing? We've got to cut a square hole in the bonnet. The particular Mercedes-Benz that I'm building has got a cutout, an air escape or hot air escape. So we're putting one in. What could possibly go wrong, right? So so I'll do some measurements. I won't bore you with all that. And then once I work out where it is and how big it's going to be in scale, I'll come back and show you. So where's my pointer? What I've done, I scribed it out first, as I said I was going to, with my little piece over the top. That definitely made a difference, okay? Like I said, I just don't want to press down too much because it is curved. So what I've done, I drilled a hole with my trusty favourite tool. I just bored the hole straight through the centre, and that gave me access to the centre. And then from there, I grabbed my little saw. Where are you, saw? Grab my little saw, okay? And this is from, I'll show you, because I like to show you what I use. Manwoo, or Manwa, I probably butchered that, saw bits, all right? They come with my little, handle. And you can lock them in there. I tend to just use them by hand. They're really good. So anyway, get yourself one of them. So, a set of them. So what I've done, I'm sawing it down to the corners to make little flaps and then push into it, then it just snaps off, right? Because we've scribed it and we've scribed it quite heavily, it leaves a nice crisp line. And of course, I'll clean up the line with a little bit of like a sandpaper stick or something. So that's all I do, just scribe through there, push down, and like this, I'll show you, and then it breaks off. Now there is a little crack just there, but I'm going to reinforce behind this anyway, so you won't see that. So you just push down, right, and she breaks away. All right, because of the noise. Look at that. It's almost just that little bit there. That's already scribed, so we just need to pull that off, and then that's good. So we're getting there, right? As you can see, voila, got myself a square hole. Just, I'll fine tune that little hole. Now, a couple of things I've noticed, and I suspected that, where's pointer? I suspected this might be a weak point between here and here. So that's why I left the sprue bit on. You're probably thinking, why has he left that on? That's why. I left that on there for strength across there, right? Because as soon as I started cutting with the saw to there and there, I noticed a fine hairline starting. And of course, then when I broke it away, she ripped up to about here. I don't know if you can see it, right? So that's why I left that piece of the sprue, the reinforced, because I didn't want it to break all the way through, because that would have been a nightmare, right? So how am I going to fix that? Well, that's pretty easy, because what I'm doing on the inside, it's come up neat, eh? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little reinforcement across there and there, and don't know, because it's actually raised. It's indented in there, so might not work along this side. I'll work it out, and they'll reinforce it, and then I will scribe out this and fill it. But once I've secured it, once it's nice and secured by putting the piece across here, and I'll dress that up really nice, get it all finished, get it all ready to go, and the very last minute I'll file this off. So there you go. That's how I put a hole in a perfectly good bonnet. How did I clean it up? With my little sticks. You guys know that I'm sponsored by Icky Sticky, so they send me these sticks. Now this was originally, I think it was 180 grit. I've been using it for ages. I don't know what grit it is now, right? It's probably 600 because I've been rubbing it. So all I do, and it's perfect. These Icky Sticky sticks, sanding sticks, are perfect because you just stick it in the corner. All right, let me get in the right light, and yeah. And around you go. And it just cleans it up. Providing you scribe it first, you get that nice, crisp, clean line, right? So there you go. That's how we do a hole in the bonnet of my Fatboy. So, all right. So, I'm pretty much calling for now this section done. What I've done, I've reinforced it around the back as I said I would. I just got a really thin styrene, right? And I put a piece through here. And then I filed down the outside. So we'll just have to see how that comes up. But this is working out really good. So what I'll do, I'll let this cure, and then I'll rub down all the edges, put a little bit of putty in there, right? Because this is going to be exposed, but this section here and these two little ones, I'm going to put flocking in there. So embossed powder, I think that's what you call it, which is a bit finer. So it looked like a bonnet insulation pad. So, and that will be the same colour as the interior. So it's going to look good. A little bit of work to do, but that's okay, right? That's what we don't mind doing. And so there you go. I'm calling that done for now, apart from a little bit of prep here and there. There you go. So, what's next? Well, as you can see, I've got the bonnet just sitting in there, really nice, real happy. As you saw in the previous video episodes, I've reinforced it, and I've just got some putty sitting in there, and it's the bonnet's really good. So we can move on from that bit, and as soon as you start thinking you're getting ahead, bang. You're stuck on another little challenge. So the next little challenge I've got, right, is I'm having the exhaust pipes come out the front guards, right, or fenders, depends on where you come from. So this sits in like yay, right, and I've just cut the blades out of it, and these have got to sit in there like yay, sort of ishy, like yay. I've got no idea how I'm going to do it. So I've just been back to my reference photos, and look, it gives me a little better understanding. But I tell you, where's Pointer? Pointer, where are you, mate? Ah, there you are. Right, I've got to fill in these bits, all right, because you don't have the two chrome bars going across there, which we're not having chrome anyway, right? Everything's going to be blacked out. So let me try and take the bonnet out. So I've got to fill up these little bits. So I'm going to have to make up some 2-component putty and knead that for 7 minutes and then get that in there. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to fit this first after it's all dressed up, because it's actually recessed. If you can see in there, it's actually recessed in there. So I just can't go whopping a heap of putty and let it ooze through the holes, because it won't fit, and it's a very nice fit. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to have to make sure I keep this shape. So that's going to go in there, right? And get that glued in, and then that'll be the next step. Wish me luck. Right, well, that's a few hours of my life I'm not going to get back. That took me a long time. That took me a long time to do these, and I'm still not finished. Let me just get in the right spot for you. So, what I've done, where's Pointer? Pointer? I've put these in, which I can show you there and there, right? They can go in now. I remember from the last build, I'm pretty sure they can go in now because they won't interfere with going in with the body later, with the rest of the thing. So they're all cemented in, and all I've got to do, I've got these little bars I've put in right there and there. Okay, that's to hold the exhaust pipes. So where's my exhaust pipe? Let me grab one. Look at these little things, will you? How cool are they? So, how can I do this? Okay, let me just grab a pair of these. So we'll have a bit of a visual. So they're going to go like that. And that's going to be the exhaust pipes. How cool is that? So these are going to be stainless steel. So we won't see these for a while now. All I've got to do now is make up that putty, like I said before, and put it in the 8 little spots. That just takes 7 minutes of my life off that needing that stuff. So I'm sort of leaving it to see if there's anything else. I picked up a couple of other things while I've been mucking around, and I've just put a little bit more filler in the backs of these. I just thought the shape looked a little bit funny, so I put a little bit more in them. As I said before, we've got the little bit of putty around the edge, and that's really schmicko. And remember this come up really good. I'll put some primer on that. There's a tiny little pinhole, and I can't believe I mustn't have had any base coat in there. So, but I can see it, and if I can see it, it's not going to fill. So I'll deal with that later on. So that is what we call a little bit more progression.